Alright, so I'm Scott from South Florida Insider, and I'm here with...
Jamie from Lostprophets in the United Kingdom.
You know, first off, I mean, coming on this tour, I haven't seen you on the Warped Tour. I mean, it's been a number of years going. What brought you into this festival here?
I'm stoked, really stoked to be on a Warped Tour festival. The closest thing we've done to this is like when we did Ozfest back in 2002. And that was before it was like a metal fest, you know. There was bands like, we played with bands like The Used and Glassjaw and stuff like that. I think in our career since then, though, we were kind of more like pushed as a radio band, and it wasn't, you know, we didn't have that much control over how we were being presented. Yeah, and I don't want to, I'm not taking anything away from these bands, but, you know, we were like being pushed like we were Chevelle or like Breaking Benjamin or something like that. We never felt comfortable with that, you know, as a band. We always felt a lot more in kin with bands like, you know, Take It Back Sunday, The Used and Glassjaw and stuff like that. So to come back after not playing the US for 6 years and then jumping on Warped Tour is just such a fantastic opportunity for us. You know what I mean? We feel so at home here. This is definitely how we'd like to be kind of positioned. It's great to have the support from like Fearless record label. You know, so much passion over at that record label. So I'm just like, I'm stoked. You can tell the way I'm talking about it, man. I'm super stoked to be over here doing this.
And it's got to be even better. I mean, being that humble with a band like Taking Back Sunday. I mean, you guys sharing this stage and whatnot here at Warped Tour.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, like I say, not to bang on about it, but it's been 12 years and there's very few bands we haven't played with. You know, we took out Taking Back Sunday as our main support over in the UK when we were doing our arenas, so we know those guys from like ages back. We were like touring with The Used in like 2001, so like when they were on this tour, it was just so good to see them. It's, you know, it's a little weird. We're kind of maybe the seniors on this tour nowadays, you know what I mean? But it's so good. Like people, so many of the kids are coming up. I call them kids. Look at me. So many of the younger musicians are coming up and being like, hey man, you know, start something. I was got into your record when I was a kid. It got me playing guitar or whatever it is. And that's incredibly humbling as well, you know, to be like almost considered, if anything, you know, patriarchs of the kind of thing that we are doing, you know. So I love that.
Being so-called that senior out here on tour, does that mean that, is that why we got a cane over here? I mean, what's going on with this cane?
Hell yeah. Well, I'm fighting age like desperately. I hate the idea of getting old. I don't really. I love it, but I surfed. I did a lot of mountain biking. I do a lot of Muay Thai fighting, and sadly I injured my neck. Herniated a disc in my neck. And that's just kind of put me out for a year or so, you know what I mean? So I kind of need a little bit of support now and again, especially with how far away everything is on tours. So, you know, this is just both a placebo and a crutch in its own right. So yeah, I don't heal like I used to, man. It sucks.
But the only way that you're avoiding the stage is if there's not even a wheelchair present, because no matter what, you're taking the stage, even if you're sitting.
Yeah, man. I remember like I've missed 2 shows with the band in 12 years, and that was because the US wouldn't let me leave because they wouldn't, you know, because of my green card issue and stuff like that. So I didn't get to go to Japan one time. But I've got up on stage with septicemia, man, like falling over, because like all my fingernails falling off. It's gross, I know, but you know, I'll get up and perform at that level. It's like I'm not gonna miss a show.
And for us, U.S. Americans over here, I mean, what have we missed? I mean, this 6 year, I guess you could call it a lull. I mean, I know you guys have still been putting out music, still touring, just not so much out here in the States.
Yeah.
So what's the projects that are kind of in line, currently working on, or already have out there?
Well, yeah, we didn't stop at all. We just carried on, and we just didn't do it over here. You know, we had a bad run, and I don't want to whinge about it because it's in the past, but we just had a bad run on the last record we released out here. We had like 2 or 3 things go wrong for us, and we were just like, you know, we can't afford to invest so much time and finances in a place where your team isn't functioning, you know. So we just basically focused on our territory, our home territory, focused on Japan and Europe and Australia, played all those places and just carried on like normal, you know. We didn't really, like, no offense, we didn't really miss being over here in the US, you know what I mean? The US labels, like, I think the cut-off point for us is when they said our album sounded too British, so we were just like, you know what, peace out, dude. We'll see you later, you know. And to be honest, we were like very stoked indeed to like be picked up by on this record, to be picked up by Fearless, because you know there's so much passion at that record label.
Not a lot of restrictions too. They kind of let you do your own thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do our own thing anyway because we're assholes like that. You know, and plus we've been doing it long enough. I think we've got like enough pull. We're gonna be headlining Warped in the UK. I guess that's another reason why we're on this over here. So like we carried on doing what we were doing over in the outside the US. Yes, there is an outside the US, and we, you know, went from strength to strength over there. It is really good to be back over here, you know, because think about it, like, you know, in our career, it would be silly actually fully turning our back on a territory where we sell like 1.5 million records, you know. So it's great to be back. The reception we've had on Warped Tour is fantastic. We were a little bit dipping our toes in the water, but I really think we're going to be back for our own tour soon, and you know, hopefully we'll get a really good relationship with Fearless in the US and come back more.
How does it feel though? I mean, even kind of, I wouldn't call it rehashing, but in a way it is. I mean, bringing back some of those old tunes that were so prominent, like in the early going Last Train Home and so forth. I mean, you're back here at the Warped Tour. You know, people are itching to hear it. It's like you're going through your set list, and it's like, all right, when's it coming? When's it coming?
It is ridiculous. I mean, we've got like 5 albums now, so you got to like try and get your songs on into a 30-minute set. We're just like, you know, but we play those songs anyway when we do our headline shows, like 2-hour shows or whatever. It is fantastic to hear all the stories that go with it. I've never seen your band, but this song was my breakup song when I was in high school. I got into you when I was 9. I'm like, oh god, I'm so old. So it's amazing to do that, and like I say, in a lot of the bands and a lot of the people working on this tour, you know, kind of picked up our record like back in the day, so that's fantastic. But our agenda over here is not only to kind of cater for the people that were into it before, but to win over new fans. You know, we knew it was going to be like a brand new start. We're very grateful for that. Not many bands get second chances, you know what I mean. We are incredibly grateful that we've got an opportunity to come over and, you know, almost redesign ourselves the way that we feel that we should fit in, and Warped Tour is our first step in that, and I'm stoked, honestly. The reception's brilliant.
So after this, I mean, what is next for you guys?
We go and do some of our own shows over on the West Coast, because like I say, we were doing European festivals when Warped Tour kind of started, so we missed the first half of Warped over here. Then we go over to Japan. We go back to the UK in November and do another like headline tour over there, which is going to be awesome. I'd like to think that we hopefully sometime either between now or just after that, we'll come back to the US and do our own shows in all of these territories. You know what I mean? Like these shows on Warped are going from strength to strength with us. People are like, oh, that band? Oh yeah, I'll go and check that out. So like more and more people are coming to see us, which is giving us like loads of confidence to come back and do our own shows. But you know, we want to go to places like, we went to Russia, we went to like Jakarta and like, you know, all those places on our last run, and it was amazing, man. It was amazing to get to see the world, doing what you love doing.
In all the different accents, dude, singing back to you.
It's insane. I still can't believe sometimes like how crazy my life and our lives are, you know. It's like, we've been doing this 12 years now. I've never had a proper job. I feel terrible. No, I don't. It's just amazing. So I'd like to go to South America. I'd like to go back to Russia if we can do that. It'd be great to go to like places like India. I just want to keep doing it. I just want to keep playing.
Do you feel there's kind of like a different push that you have to make with these different countries and stuff musically? I mean, that you're kind of maybe, I mean, you don't seem like one of those bands that tries to adapt your music to a certain region, but do you kind of feel obligated to an extent, I guess?
Not really. I mean, we did in the past. You know, we have been guilty somewhat in our career of actually like catering and giving ourselves the best chance. Not so much giving ourselves the best chance, not giving people excuses, because you know this industry is fickle, and people will be like, well, you know, if you'd put that chorus in the first 10 seconds of the song, maybe we could have got it on radio for you. You know what I mean? So we were just like, oh, give them no excuses, give them a good album, let them be able to work. A Liberation Transmission for us was as far as we were willing to compromise. I'm not saying it was a bad album, but it was as radio friendly as you can possibly get, you know. And it was just a shame. We went, for the first time in our careers, we went top 10 mainstream rock, And then Beyonce released their record and they flopped. And so they pulled everybody off of our, like, it sounds like I'm bitching about crap, but they just basically pulled everybody off the rock department promotion, and we were just left out in the cold. And I think that's just bullshit. That it's not, career orientated for bands. And I was just like, yeah, I don't want to be associated with this anymore. So, going back to your question, we do write our own music and what we like to hear, in the hope that we're not that different to everybody else. I think that it will tell. If we started writing music for ourselves that was so like anal and introverted, they just become musical masturbation, then people stop listening to us, then, we've gone up our asses. But so far, people usually, take our music because they know we're genuine and we tell them the truth,
And speaking on that behalf, are you currently writing anything right now? Do you have anything set dates that you're putting out singles?
Well, we take a long time to do records. We go in with the intention of getting it done like in a month or two, and it ends up being a year. I don't know why that is.
But performing them live at least before it's released, or?
Maybe we do that as well. We were going to go straight back in the studio now in January and just like put out another record, but with the way that we've been accepted over here on Warped, maybe we'll just hold off and actually do some more touring on that. You know what I mean? We just play it by ear. That is different. It's different. It's a different time. It's a different, the industry has changed so much. We've taken control of our own destinies and our careers now. We are the board members of our business, and we have a manager who's a CEO, but we have a say in everything. So we just want to keep it flexible. We don't want to just be like, plan A failed, get back in the studio, we're just gonna...
It's not like anybody's telling you wear neon, put on a spacesuit or anything.
Apart from ourselves. And we'll do that. No, we just having great fun at the moment. Like I say, we got, who would have thought, it's like 6 little punks from some valley in the middle of nowhere in Wales would not only make it in a band, but 12 years on actually have seen out all their contracts. We didn't get dropped or anything. We just saw through our contracts, we saw through our contracts with management. So we were in a really fortunate position with this new album to have a brand spanking new team around us, somebody that we've chose now that we've got the wisdom and the maturity to actually do it properly. So we're just excited and really filled up and enthusiastic because of the team we got around us. I don't know, we're not going to write. The record's only been out here, I think, like a month or two. It came out in the UK a little earlier on because we released it, I guess, in February, something like that. So we've still got hopefully another 8 to 10 months touring on this one, and then back in the studio. But I love performing. As you can tell, I love talking, I love being entertained. That's my thing. So I'll stay out of the studio as long as I can.
Hey, well, I know sweating it out here with me. We're dripping all over the place here. I definitely appreciate your time. If there's anything you want to mention, again, for the fan, just one last thing.
I'm just really excited. I know I was kind of bitching on the US a little earlier on. I live in the US, so I love this place. I just really excited to come back. I'm very happy with the reception that we've had. I can't wait to do our own tour. So just kind of keep your ears out for when we come back and do our headline tour. I'm sure we'll take us some cracking bands as well. So it's good to be back.
All right. Thanks a lot.